Welcome to F Your Mindset podcast. I'm Sydney Nicole. We're here to chat about all things mindset and how you can live your dream life. You have the power to do anything you want and have everything you desire. And if you think you don't, fix your mindset. Hello, welcome to my podcast. That is so surreal to say. Wow. Welcome to F Your Mindset podcast. It's me, Sydney Nicole. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. This is kind of crazy. I have had the goal to start a podcast for honestly a long time. It's been in the back of my mind for a really, really long time. And I didn't think it would happen so fast. Like, if we're being honest here, I decided a week and a half ago that I wanted to get this podcast started now. I wanted to release the first episode in January 2022. It's a new year. It's time to start new things. And I decided this a week and a half ago. So I bought all the equipment. I've been doing the research. I've been writing down what I wanted to talk about. It's been a whirlwind. So it's really surreal that I'm actually sitting down and recording this and that it all happened so fast. But I am so excited. So welcome to F Your Mindset podcast. And just to clarify, it is Fix Your Mindset podcast, okay? Not the other F word, although it totally could be. But listen, this is a family-friendly PG podcast over here. So fix your mindset, or just F your mindset, you know? We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at the F. So this podcast is going to talk, of course, about mindset, but we're really going to get into the power of believing in yourself, and more than just like the power of it, but I'm going to tell you how, because I've done this. I've made so many changes to my life in the past year especially, but honestly in the last few years. I am a completely different person inside and out, and it started with mindset changes. But it's so much more than that, and I wanted a podcast to really talk about all this stuff, because I haven't told you guys how I went from a college student absolutely hating my job, working at a bar, switching jobs like every few months because I hated every single job, and I honestly like hated my life, not to be dramatic, but I was so unhappy, and I've made so many changes, so I'm really excited because I'm such a happy person now. Like, just to clarify, I am so happy with my life, with everything I've done, with everything I am doing. Like, there's so much more in the works. And if I could go from hating my life and feeling like I was going to have a career I hated for the rest of my life, like, I was hopeless, okay? I thought I was going to hate what I did, like, in a career and just life in general for the rest of my life. Like, I had those thoughts. And now I'm sitting here genuinely loving everything I'm doing and loving who I am, more importantly. Like, it's the power of mindset. So I've done this, I've made these changes, and I want to, like, give you all the secrets. I want to tell you how, because I'm not some crazy mindset coach or, like, psychology major or anything like that. I'm a normal girl who's just kind of figured this stuff out, and I'm going to compile everything that I've done and that I've figured out so you guys can make these changes too, and you can be happy and loving your life, being the boss of your own life, all of the things. So I'm definitely not perfect, don't get me wrong. I still have my sad days, my angry days. I'm not optimistic and happy all the time, but I think that's the beauty of it, is that I am a real person, and I'm not going to tell you guys, this is the secret, the key to happiness, and you'll never be sad or angry again. Like, that is not realistic, but I am going to tell you how you can switch things and fix your mindset and fix your life, honestly, so you can live a life that you absolutely love. So, this podcast, I'm so excited to say this. This is, like, going to be my favorite line of the episode. I'm really excited, okay? This podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all of those podcast streaming apps that wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, it'll be there. And a special little thing here, okay? This is available as well on my YouTube channel. I am waving at my camera right now. If you guys are watching it on YouTube, you can obviously see me. Hi, hey, hello. If you can only hear my voice right now and you can't see me, I am here to let you know if you are curious and want to see me talk and do my podcast. If you want a video version, it will be on my YouTube channel. Every single episode that I'm recording for you guys as an audio podcast, there will also be a video version, which is so cool. It will be up on my YouTube channel, just Sydney Nicole. If you want to type it into the search bar, it's youtube.com/Sydney Nicole channel. But yeah, I thought it would be just so fun to have a video version. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool. So it's there. And for my YouTube viewers, if you are watching this and you're like, Sydney, what the heck is this video? What are you doing right now? Because this is very different than my usual YouTube videos. I do a lot of fashion YouTube videos. If you haven't checked out my channel before, that is what I do over there. A lot of fashion, a little bit of vlogs, all the good things. So if you just, clicked on this because you're coming from my YouTube channel and you're like, what is this video? I am here to tell you I'm podcasting. Hello, welcome. But the other good news for my YouTube family is this podcast is not replacing any of my other videos. I'm still going to be doing my regular 2 fashion lifestyle videos a week. This podcast is just going to be an extra little thing. And the goal is to have a new episode every single Friday. I'm not going to promise it because I am starting a new semester of college in less than a month. And, we'll see what happens. But it is the goal to have a new episode every Friday. So crossing my fingers. But yeah, that's where you can find me if you're interested, okay? So we're gonna get right into this finally. That was probably the longest intro ever, but I've never done an intro before, so I feel like I had a lot to say. This first episode, though, let's get into it. It's really gonna be the roadmap of where to start on a mindset journey. If you want to improve your mindset, your life, your career, your whatever, why'd you click on this podcast? Why are you here? Maybe you're one of my friends and family and you're just being nice and supporting me and listening to my podcast. And if that's the case, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. But if that is not the reason that you clicked on this podcast, then you clicked on it for some other reason that is probably mindset involved. You probably want to change something in your life, whether it's in your mind, your career, your whatever it is. So this is really going to be the roadmap of where the heck do you start? Because that is honestly the scariest thing. When I realized I wasn't happy, when I tried to figure out what can I do to change? That is the scariest thing. Searching for podcasts mindset, how to be happier. It's scary. And this is going to really tell you the first steps, the little things that you can do to get into this without jumping in so much that you're completely changing your life, that it's just not attainable. This is going to be a few things that you can do to kickstart this. And I'm excited because I think these little tips that I'm going to share with you guys are huge. I started doing this, using these tips a few years ago, about a year ago actually, probably about a year ago. And it changes everything. And the other cool thing about it is I'm still actively using these tips in my life every single day. So these things that I'm going to share with you are something that I genuinely use every single day and that genuinely improves my life every single day. So let's get right into the good stuff, okay? The first thing is first. You need to become more consciously aware of your mindset and the thoughts that you have on a daily basis. This might sound kind of weird, but I want you to think about your thoughts, okay? You probably don't remember many of your thoughts. The first thing that comes to your mind is probably a decision you made, right? Maybe you remember deciding what you wanted to eat for breakfast this morning. It's something you had to actively think about. It's not really that hard to recall. You probably remember those thoughts. Or maybe you remember something that annoyed you that you were thinking about. For me, that's something that always comes to mind. And I think that's for a lot of people, honestly. It's so much easier to remember the negative things. And that's just in life in general. We're not going to get too far into that, but negative things, negative emotions, annoyances really come to mind easier. And I want to change that. That is no fun. I don't like that personally. I think it's huge that you have the power to change your thoughts. I mean, think about it. You're the one thinking. You have the complete control over what is going through your head, and it's so simple. You need to be consciously aware of what you're thinking, and you need to change it, okay? And the reason that we want to do this, the reason we want to be consciously aware of our thoughts is because we want to make sure they're positive. Like I was saying, you don't want to have negative thoughts. You don't want to be thinking about things that annoy you all day. I mean, it just like creates a bad feeling, a bad energy within you. Nobody wants to feel annoyed and mad and just angry. Nobody wants that. So we want positivity. We want to be happy, right? Like that's why we're here. We want to be happy. And the first step is being consciously aware of when you have these thoughts, of when you're annoyed, when you're mad, and when it happens, think, well, why do I want this? Do I want this right now? Do I want to sit here being annoyed or mad or crabby? No. I mean, most of the time the answer is going to be no. For me, at least, most of the time the answer is no. I would much rather feel happy and excited right now. That sounds a lot better to me than sitting in my annoyance. Especially when I don't have to. Like, that's the huge thing here. You don't have to. You don't have to be annoyed. And I know, it's easier said than done, because when you're in the heat of it, someone does something that just pisses you off, right? It's not as easy in the moment to just say, oh, no, it's fine. I'm not going to be annoyed. I know, it's a lot easier said than done, but that's where we have to start. You have to start by simply being aware of when you're annoyed. Because in your day-to-day life, you know, for me, at least like a year ago, right, when I was not consciously aware of my mindset, when I really wasn't going through any type of mindset journey, as you could call it, I wasn't that concerned when I was mad or annoyed, which is totally normal. Most people, when they get annoyed or mad, they don't think like, I need to shift this, I need to be positive. Like, it's just not the natural response. And that's okay. Like, a lot of this that we're going to be talking about isn't the natural response, but that's kind of the whole point. Like, you don't want to just have your natural response, or you wouldn't be here wondering how you can change your mindset and be happier. Anyway, the first step to shifting these thoughts is to just be conscious about your thoughts and to consciously notice, how many times in a day do I get annoyed? Do I get angry? Do I have a feeling that isn't good? It is so easy to listen to a podcast or to watch a YouTube video or to see content, right, on social media or whatever, about things you can do to change your life, steps you can take. It's so easy to hear these things or see these things and think about it in the moment, absolutely, and think like, yeah, I'm going to do these things, I'm going to improve my life, these things are going to be great. But it is so easy to just turn off the podcast or to turn off your phone and immediately forget about whatever it was that you just saw that you thought was going to be so life-changing. And a lot of the reason behind this is actually because people aren't giving you steps to take in your life. You know, there are a lot of positivity, mindset, self-help type of podcasts out there. And I've listened to many, and don't get me wrong, there are some very, very amazing resources, but I've also found that there are a lot of podcasts, especially that I'll listen to, and they're so great and really inspiring, but I turn the podcast off and completely forget about what they told me or the stories about how they changed their life. And it's because they didn't give me anything that I could do, like little homework, I guess. They didn't give me homework of how I can apply this to my life and how I can make these changes. They might have told me the story of how they did it, but I didn't connect it to how I can change my life. So that is one huge thing that I want to do for you guys, is in these episodes, I want to give you a little homework, I guess. It's going to be more fun than homework. I just guess I don't know another term. A little side work. I don't know. But I'm going to give you guys my tips now, okay, on how to be more conscious about your thoughts. The first little tip, trick thing that I have to share with you guys is changing your iPhone lock screen. And what I did on mine is I kind of made it like a vision board. If you've seen these on Pinterest or anything, you know what I mean. It's like a collage of pictures that inspires you, essentially. But in my little vision board collage that I made specifically for my lock screen, I put in a few quotes, and I'm actually going to pull out my phone and see what they are right now, because I actually change my lock screen very often. So right now it says, "You are beautiful," and then there's another little quote. It says, "I see a certain life for myself and I won't stop until I get it." And there's another one that says, "Care for your body, eat, hydrate, move, sleep." So those are just like my little quotes that I have right now on my lock screen. But my tip for you guys, I got really sidetracked there, sorry, is when you're making your little lock screen vision board things, and going back to being conscious of our thoughts, because that's why we started talking about this in the first place. Again, I got very sidetracked there. But put some quotes into your vision board lock screen that say something about being conscious or shifting your thoughts, or maybe even it says like, "What are you thinking right now?" You know, put in a few quotes that are going to remind you to be conscious about your thoughts, or just to be positive. Whatever it is that you need the reminder of, and that's going to remind you to be conscious, think about what you're thinking about. And ultimately, the goal of being conscious of your thoughts is so that you can shift a negative thought to a positive thought. So whatever little quote you need, I think it is so incredibly helpful to have your lock screen say something like this. That is a huge one for me. So the next little tip, if the lock screen doesn't resonate with you, or maybe you just need more than one reminder, because if we're being honest, I need multiple reminders to be able to do anything. So here's another one. Literally set a reminder on your phone that goes off, like your morning alarm, you know. You can change what the alarms say, like the little text that goes off, so it doesn't just have to say alarm or wake up. Change it and set these reminders throughout the day with little quotes, like we were saying. So it could say, "Be positive, be conscious, shift your thoughts, delete the negativity." Any little saying like that that's going to remind you to do those things, to be conscious and to be more positive and delete the negativity, I guess. And I set these every few hours. Like, I think mine, I had one a while ago that would go off like every 2 or 3 hours. Whatever you need. Like, this is totally about you. This is completely customizable. So set it for whenever you want. Maybe even just once a day. Whatever's going to work for you. And this one, especially of setting reminders on your phone, is probably the best way someone who is completely new to mindset work, completely new to like all of this, this is the best way for you to remember and to be conscious, is to literally have alarms go off to remind you every few hours. Because otherwise you're just going to forget. You're going to go on with your day and you're going to have negative thoughts, and you're not even going to be thinking about your thoughts. You're not going to be conscious about your thoughts because that's what you're used to. And that's just what it is, you know? Like, you're not used to thinking about your thoughts. You're not used to trying to be more positive. It's not what you have been doing in your day-to-day life. So it's okay that you need a reminder. It's okay if you literally need a reminder to go off every few hours as you're getting into this, because the cool thing is I used to have these reminders on my phone and now I don't. It's constantly going through my own head, like my own little reminders go off in my brain every time I'm thinking about literally anything. I have these little reminders like, "Oh, what are you thinking about? Is this positive? Is this making you happy? Is this thought negative? If so, get it out of here, delete it. We don't want that thought." But you won't have to have reminders on your phone forever, is what I'm saying. It's just kind of a good starting point if you need a little extra push to be conscious and to figure out what you're thinking about during the day. And my last little tip, trick, whatever you want to call it, for how to be more conscious and think of your thoughts more is to get a friend to hold you accountable. And this one is huge, not only for this first step of being conscious and actively trying to be more positive, but this is huge, like, for an entire mindset journey. If you can get a friend on board at the beginning of your own mindset journey and get them to start a journey with you. I feel so weird saying mindset journey, but I don't know what else to call it. So we're going to stick with mindset journey. It sounds a little bit dramatic, but I don't have a better phrase for this at the moment. Get a friend that is going to go on this mindset journey with you. Genuinely, it will make it so much easier. I can't even tell you. The whole process of becoming a more positive, a happier person, and ultimately who you want to be is so much easier when you physically have another human being that is there by your side and is also doing the same things. You know, if you both are super dedicated to being happier, being more positive, having a better mindset, to ultimately living the life that you want to live, whether that's a mindset thing or a physical thing, you want to be somewhere else, you want to do a different job, you can do all of that. And if you have somebody else that's going to be there and is just as dedicated as you, and you guys can like bounce off of each other's energy with this, wow, that is like something that is unreplaceable. And it's not to say that you can't do this alone. If you don't have a friend, you know, that wants to be on this mindset journey with you, you can absolutely do it on your own. There's no question. I mean, going back to my little like tagline here, you can do anything you want to do. And if you think you can't, you need to fix your mindset, right? So you can do it alone. Absolutely. I have no doubts that you guys can do anything you set your mind to. But if you want it to be a little bit easier, I'm just giving you a hint here, I think having a friend is an incredible thing. Having an accountability buddy is amazing. So if you have someone in mind that, you know, might be willing to work on their mindset a little, if you have someone in mind that, you know, wants to be more positive, who wants to have a happier life, this could be anybody, your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your sisters, like this could be anybody. So if you have someone in mind, text them right now, share this episode, send them a text, just get them to listen to this episode, you know, see if they're intrigued a little bit. Share this and say, hey, I found this new podcast, right? Like, take a listen to this. And, you know, then they're going to get to this part of the episode where our little secret's out that you texted them because you want a mindset buddy. And, you know, they're going to listen to it and they're going to be like, okay, you want a mindset buddy. I see. And that's all it takes. So share this podcast with somebody if you think that it would help them, if you think they would be a great mindset buddy, someone who wants to be a little more positive with you. All right, we're going to get into one more little topic, one more little thing for this episode. And that is, I want you to take a minute and ask yourself why you're here, why you're listening to this. What do you want out of this? Because everybody's goals and aspirations, or why they even just, you know, clicked on this little podcast, is going to be different. Maybe it didn't have to do with mindset or goals like we talked about earlier. Maybe you're just here supporting me. You're my family and friend, and thank you. I love you. If you're still listening to this, you got this far into it and you're not even interested. Thank you. I hope if you're still listening, you're interested at least a little bit. But take a minute and think about it. Like, what got you here? Why did you click on this? What mindset goals do you have? Are you feeling like you're living a really negative life? Are you feeling like you could just simply be a more positive person? Or maybe you have larger goals. Like me, when I first started listening to mindset podcasts and finding like all of this information, I guess, I not only wanted to be a more positive person, because like I said, I was a little down in the dumps for a bit there, but I wanted to be more positive. But I also saw so many things for my life that I wanted to do, and I just felt like I had so many goals and that I had the drive to be able to do things, and that my life could be so much more than the life I was living. I didn't want to sit at a bar job and go through college. I started college pre-dental, okay? I didn't want to sit in a dental office my whole life. So why did I start college with that major? I don't know. But I didn't want to be doing any of the things that I was doing. I felt like there was so much more that I could get out of my life, and I didn't even know how to start, but I knew that I had to start. And maybe you can resonate with that a little bit. Maybe you want to change your career or where you're living, or just your mindset. You just want to fix your mindset. Whatever the case is, I want you to take a few minutes once this podcast is over, once we wrap this up. Take a few minutes wherever you are, whether in your car, you're sitting in your room, I don't know where you listen to podcasts, wherever you are, turn it off once it's over and take a few minutes. Don't look at your phone right away. Don't do it. Don't look at any other distractions. Take a few minutes to simply reflect and think about it. What do you want? And these can be crazy goals. Like, I'm sure it'll start with something like, I want to be more positive. I want to live a happier life. But let yourself kind of run wild with it for a minute. Like, what would you wish for if you could have anything? What would you want for your life if you could do anything? You could be in any career. You could be in your dream career. You could be in your dream house. You could be living in your dream state, you know, like city, state, whatever it is. You could be living in your dream spot, working your dream job, being with your dream person, whatever it is that is in your mind as like the perfect dream life for yourself. Take a minute and think about it. What would you want? And then I want you to realize that you can have it. And maybe you don't believe it right now. Maybe you don't believe me. You think I'm crazy. Maybe your dreams are like so big. You want to, you know, like when I started this, I wanted to be a YouTuber and I wanted to live somewhere warm. And those things seemed crazy. Like, to little old me, going through college, working at a bar, I can't be a YouTuber and live in Arizona. Like, what? That's so unattainable. Guys, that's my life now, okay? I don't live in Arizona yet, just spoiler alert. But I'm moving. It's already a done deal. It's happening. And I'm a YouTuber. That's my job. Like, this is why I'm telling you right now, take a minute and think about what you want, and I don't care how crazy it is, because my dreams were freaking crazy. I never thought in a million years that I could be a YouTuber living wherever the heck I wanted to live. And now I'm doing it. Right? That's weird. Just taking a minute to like sit back and think about that is a little bit crazy, like how far I've come. So I want you to think about that too. And you don't have to believe me right now. You probably won't. That's okay. You don't have to believe that whatever your crazy dream life scenario is, you don't have to believe me that you can have it. But just promise me at least that you'll come back and you'll continue listening to this podcast so that I can change your mind. Because if you do, I'm going to change your mind. I'm going to fix your mindset. I'm going to have you believing that you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. And then you're going to do it. And I can't wait until you guys are, down the road a few years from now, coming back and DMing me or however it is you're contacting me and saying, yep, I did it. I am where I thought I would never be. And that's why I'm here, guys. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because I've got myself to a place that I didn't believe I could be. And I'm not even at like the peak of everything I want to do with my life. Like if you guys saw my like goals and aspirations list, you would maybe think I'm a little bit crazy. But I'm going to do all those things. I am so excited for all the crazy things I'm going to do with my life. There's so much. And I'm already kind of living a crazy life that I didn't expect I could have a few years ago. I never expected that I would be able to quit my job and call myself a full-time YouTuber. Like, what is that? Guys, all I'm saying here is you can do it. And you might not believe me right now, and that's okay. But I'm going to have you believe in it. I'm going to fix your mindset right up, okay? That's the whole, name of the podcast and all that good stuff. But all of these things and getting what you want out of your life genuinely starts with your mindset. You're the boss of your own life. You're the boss of your thoughts. You're the freaking boss. Take some control. Accept that you're the boss. Take some control of it. Change your thoughts, number one, like we talked about. Be a little bit more conscious here. Start there, okay? Start there. Change your thoughts. Be conscious. Be a little more positive. These are the first steps we're taking to fixing that mindset until you believe that you can have that crazy dream life that we're talking about here. All right, this podcast is just about over. I think I've been rambling on enough. You guys are probably sick of me. I hope not, because there's another episode. This is episode 1, and like I said earlier, I'm releasing 2 episodes. So if you, for some reason, aren't sick of me yet, you can listen to my second episode after this. But go take a few minutes, turn this off, set your little reminders, make your lock screen, text a friend, whatever it is, and also take a few minutes and think about all of the crazy, crazy dreams and aspirations that make up your dream life. Even the unattainable ones. Let yourself think about it for a minute. Think about what you truly would want if you could have anything. All right, don't forget to follow the podcast, subscribe to it, hit the download button, all of those things. It would mean literally the world to me if you reviewed the podcast. That would probably make me cry, I'm not gonna lie. But since this is a new podcast, I'm gonna do like all of the things that I can to tell you guys to, give it ratings, give it reviews, whatever, because it helps me so much. So if you do leave a review, I'll probably cry in the best way. So if you feel so kind, that would be amazing. Download it as well. I want to get those downloads up. And yeah, all the things. Follow, subscribe, all the things, so you don't miss our next chat. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. I can't wait to chat again. I will see you next Friday.